In today's video, I'm going to give you the financial reasons as to why sugar addiction and sugar overconsumption is ruining your health. Or rather, I'm going to show you just how sugar addiction is destroying your financial health and your financial future. So stick around. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dr. Jason Philippe, a board certified family medicine physician, a former Division I basketball player, and a former personal trainer. And in some of my past videos on this channel, I've talked about the issues of sugar addiction. I've talked about sugar detox. And I've mentioned actually that this is one of the few addictions, or rather this is one of the major addictions that you suffer from that is ruining your financial future. And I'm going to show you exactly how. I have not yet seen someone talk about this in this way. So number one, healthcare costs. When you overconsume sugar, you're putting yourself at risk for chronic diseases. One of the biggest ones being type 2 diabetes, for example. We're not even talking about heart disease, high cholesterol, etc., because food items with added sugar usually have added saturated fat, high carbs, all of which lead to worsening of metabolic health, thereby reducing heart health long term and increasing risk of chronic diseases. When you suffer from chronic diseases, you put yourself at risk for more ER visits, hospital visits, surgeries. All of that costs money. Money that you might not necessarily be seeing today, but definitely will cost you in the future. When you suffer from chronic diseases, you're paying for things like medications consistently and routinely by the month, by the 3 months, by the year, etc. Dental care costs. Your sugar addiction, it's decreasing your productivity and your potential earnings. One of the most consistent things I hear from people who have successfully detoxed from sugar is that they mention that they have increased clarity and less brain fog. So with added sugar or overconsumption of sugar, you might be dealing with mental fog and fatigue, which is going to reduce your productivity at work and over the long term, reduce your potential earnings. Also, if you suffer from chronic diseases, you have to go to the doctor more. You may end up in the hospital more often or more frequent than someone else. And if that's during your work years, end up with something called absenteeism, basically not being able to show up for work because you are unfortunately in a hospital setting or at a doctor's office dealing with something else for a chronic disease that may be potentially preventable by reducing and eliminating your added sugar consumption. Also, sugar addiction, just like any other addiction, can lead you to make poor financial choices because you may impulse buy more sugary stuff to fix your sugar craving, all because you're addicted to sugar. And you impulse buy, you buy more sugar, you consume more sugar despite the fact that you know it's worse for you or bad for you. Over time, over months, over weeks, over years, you develop chronic diseases, you can't go to work, you don't earn enough money, you have extra costs. You see how the spiral. You just keep spiraling. Outside of the impulse purchase, you have the emotional purchase. So if you're using sugar as a comfort food, whenever stress happens, you fall into the same bad habit. You don't feel motivated to make healthier habits for stressful situations. So you end up just resorting to sugary foods or sugary drinks, beverages, etc., you name it. And then the cycle continues, like I mentioned before. The sugar addiction will lead you to spend more money on processed foods. And in other videos before, and even other videos across the internet, you know that over-consuming processed and ultra-processed foods is not advantageous for your health in the long term. Another way that the sugar addiction is destroying your financial future is causing you to have a reduced lifetime earning potential, which is related to something I said earlier before, basically reinforcing time lost from work and in some cases early retirement or even disability, both of which make it very difficult to maintain a steady income, especially given the financial climate of everyone currently. Things aren't cheap. You want to know also how the sugar addiction is ruining your financial future? It's also causing people to increase spending on weight loss products, weight loss medications. They're not cheap. You take the medication once a week, every month, monthly, depending on how long you're on it, years maybe. That's money that you could be spending on other stuff. But instead, you have to use it on medications to help with weight loss so that you can improve your health long term. So your best bet is to try and ditch the sugar addiction as soon as possible. Save yourself and save your pockets. So hopefully by framing this issue from this lens, you can see just how financially you're hurting yourself in the long term by not kicking your sugar addiction. If you can kick the sugar habit, trust me, you'll be better off for it. Today, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. Just think about it. If you're 20 years old right now, you should be doing your best to be in the best shape of your life. Kick the sugar habit now. By the time you're 60, 65, you may not need many medications or any medications at all. You may have never had to worry about being in the hospital due to a lifestyle-related condition or chronic disease or illness. If you're 45, getting healthier now will help you when you're 55, 65, 75, all the way up to 95, 105. Whatever decade of life you're in, kicking the sugar habit today will help you tomorrow, next year, next decade, etc. Protect your pockets and don't let the food industry control you or your long-term health. Everyone wants to blame Big Pharma, but no one is talking about the food industry. Well, I can't say no one, but not enough people are talking about the food industry and how this sugar problem is ravaging people's lives and people's pockets. Thanks again for stopping by on my video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.